Hello everyone, how are we all today? I hope you're all doing really well. This video I'm going to be showing you, telling you about 4 of my favourite books that I've read. I like to read a certain genre, so I like to read books that are based in the early 1900s, in the war kind of time. I just find it really interesting, like to find out how they lived and yeah, what it was basically like back then in those times. So they're basically the books that I like to read. I have got one book here that is completely different to that kind of genre and it's nothing like that. I'll start off with that one. So this was actually in my July favourites, so you've probably already seen this if you watched that video, but if you haven't, then that is everything. Like I say, this book is completely different to what I normally like to read, but I thought I'd give it a go and I actually really enjoyed it. So Everything is about a girl called Maddie. She is allergic to the world, so she's been trapped in her house for 17 years. Like, she can't leave the house because she's allergic to everything, basically. And anybody that comes into her house has to have like a detoxifying thing like in the front door before they can actually step into the house in case she catches anything. Basically, it's about Maddie, and a boy called Ollie moves in next door. She sees him out the bedroom window and he sees her, and yeah, it's basically about their journey together. I'm not going to give too much away, but it's a really good book and I would definitely recommend reading it if you haven't already. Next is a book by Annie Murray. It's called Hopscotch Summer. Now, this is one of the books that is based in the early 1900s, like in the wartime. This is a really good book. Basically, it's about a girl called Emma. She's a really happy child and they're happy and living in like a happy little family, and her mum has another baby. After she has another baby, it gets all complicated. Like, there's complications with the birth and it makes her mum really ill. And because of that, her dad turns to drink, and she basically, she's only a little girl, she's about 8 or 9 I think. She's basically the head of the household because her dad's always out drinking because her mum's ill and she can't really do anything. So she's basically looking after all the kids and doing all the housework and the cooking and everything, and she misses school a lot, so she has people knocking on her door because she's not going to school. Her mother then gets sent away to live with her sister in a different city, and Emma goes to look for her after she's been there a while because she just can't cope. And when she comes back, she's a completely different woman to what she remembers, and yeah, it's just a really good book. You can really connect with the characters and I just love the way that Annie Murray writes. This next book is actually like a carry-on to the first book. So in the first book, there's a little girl that lives on the same street as Em, but she's like one of them little girls that nobody wants to play with, you know. Her parents don't really look after her very well. Everybody bullies her at school and that kind of stuff, and Em feels sorry for her, and she's like really dirty and wears horrible clothes like that are all dirty and horrible, and yeah, Em feels sorry for her and befriends her. And this book is about that little girl when she's grown up. This is called Soldier Girl. So basically, the little girl's called Molly, and when she was younger she used to just, like, her mum was really abusive and she was an alcoholic, and her grandfather was also an alcoholic and was really abusive to her, so she didn't really have a very good childhood. And one day the girl out the first book, Emma, finds her laying in a gutter because she's drunk, and obviously she's grown up with drinking, so she thinks it's fine, so she's out drinking all the time, and she finds her in the gutter like drunk on the floor. And she decides to change her life around, and she joins the army as an ATS girl, and it's basically just her journey of building her life back up in the army and finding love. And yeah, that's another really good book, but like I say, you'd have to read this one first to get this one. Well, I don't suppose you would, but if you read this one first, you'd find this one a lot easier to understand. But they are 2 really good books that I would recommend. The next one is by an author called Annie Groves. Now, this was my favourite book that I'd read out of all the books that I've read that are in the wartime. This one's called Ellie Pride. It's all about this one girl. Ellie is a young girl and her mum dies, so she has to like forge her own way through the world, and her father gets very depressed and starts drinking, so she goes to live with her aunt and uncle. But before her mum died, she had a crush on this boy named Gideon Walker, but her mum made her promise not to go out with him because he was classed as lower class back then, so he was just a craftsman. So she made a promise to her mum on her mother's deathbed that she wouldn't see Gillian Walker again. So she sacrificed her love to keep her promise to her mum, and so her father's really struggling and turns to drink, so she goes to live with her aunt and uncle, who's really, really posh and has a really posh house, and like her uncle abuses her. So to escape him, she has to marry a man that she doesn't love, and his dad is always taking their money because he's very money orientated, if that makes sense. So he's always nicking their money, that what they've earned. And her husband doesn't stick up for himself, so she's always trying to stick up for him and keep him up and keep their family life afloat. And yeah, this is another really good book. You have to read it. It's quite a big book. There's quite a few pages in this one, but it is really, really good, and I definitely recommend it if you like that kind of books, like that set in the wartime era, like early 1900s. I would definitely recommend this. This was my favourite one that I'd read. I don't know where I actually got this from because I think my mum gave me this, so I don't know where it's from, but it's a really good book. So if you ever find it and you're into them kind of books in that kind of genre, definitely give this a read because it is really, really worth it. That was 4 of my favourite books. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've read any of them books, then let me know in the comments below. If not, and you have another book or any other books that you think that I would like, then also leave them in the comment below and I'll go through and see what I can get to read, because I love reading. I don't really do it as much as I would like to. So yeah, if you know any other books that you think I might like, just leave them in the comments and I'll go and have a look through them. Thank you for watching this video. I really, really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you like these videos, then do let me know. And don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. I post new videos every week, and I'm so close to 100, and I've got my video planned out for when I reach 100 subscribers, and I'm excited. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you next week with another video. Bye!